In the village of Capoeira, one thing scared the people more than witches, thieves, or tax collectors. It was Grandma Adzo when she decided someone must marry. And this week, she decided her grandson Kofi had overstayed his single life. She announced it loudly at dawn, banging a pot like she was chasing demons. "Kofi, at your age, your grandfather already had 2 farms, 1 motorbike, 8 goats, and 1 very obedient wife." Kofi opened his door slowly. "Grandma, that was in 1962. Grandma replied, "Exactly. You are running late. By now you should have at least 1 girlfriend and half a stomach of children." Kofi nearly fainted. But once Grandma Adzo makes a decision, even thunder respects her. She prepared something dangerous, something never attempted in the history of Capoeira. She created Village Tinder, a matchmaking event so chaotic the gods probably shook their heads from above. She sent messages across the village, not phone messages. She used small children as WhatsApp. "Run and tell them their daughter should bathe and come. Run. And tell that other one to dress well. Run, run, time is not waiting." Within 1 hour, 3 women were specially selected by Grandma. Not by beauty or character, but by vibes only she could understand. By afternoon, the whole village heard the news. Auntie Acey, the gossip, nearly sprained her neck from excitement. "Hey, Kofi is choosing wife today? I must sit in front." People carried stools from their homes like it was a festival. Someone even sold popcorn at the gate. You could hear whispers everywhere. Who will he choose? Is he ready? Will he survive? Kofi sat on a chair in the middle of the compound like a prisoner awaiting judgment. Grandma clapped her hands. Let the auditions begin. The first woman entered dramatically, walking like a celebrity. Her name was Abina. She came carrying snacks, ground nuts, plantain chips, kebab, mandazi, everything. Kofi smiled, until she sat down and swallowed all of it like a vacuum cleaner. She didn't chew. She inhaled. Even the goats stepped back in shock. When she finished, she licked the fingers, the plate, and the air around her. Grandma whispered, "She eats small, small. Healthy woman." Kofi whispered, "Grandma, she has eaten my destiny." But it wasn't over. The second woman entered. Her name was Adwoa Talk and Talk. She opened her mouth and started speaking before she even reached the compound. "Hello, everyone. Today I woke up at exactly 6:07 a.m. because the rooster crowed 3 times. The weather was cold, but not too cold. And yesterday I had a dream." She talked like she was paid per word. The neighbors were exhausted. The sun was tired. The birds stopped singing so her voice had space. One old man removed his hearing aid to protect his sanity. Grandma leaned in proudly. "She only talks when needed." Kofi asked, "Needed by who? The Ministry of Communication?" The chaos increased. The third woman arrived like a storm. She was tall, muscular, and her footsteps sounded like war drums. Her name was Ya Boxing Day. She didn't greet, she didn't smile. She grabbed Kofi's hand and shook it so powerfully that his wrist nearly relocated. She said with a deep voice, "I don't take nonsense. If you misbehave, I will beat you. Your shadow. And the person standing behind your shadow." Kofi wanted to cry. Grandma beamed with joy. "Look at strength! A wife who can defend the home!" The audience shouted with excitement. Some climbed trees to see better. The popcorn seller increased the price. A group of boys began playing background drum beats. Grandma stood up dramatically. "Now, Kofi, choose." Silence fell. The wind paused. Even the sun held its breath. The food-eating woman smiled with oil on her lips. The talkative one kept whispering, whispering, whispering. The fighter cracked her knuckles loud enough to scare spirits. But Kofi had a secret. He liked Amma, the coconut seller. Quiet, kind, simple Amma, who never shouted, never fought, and never inhaled food like a tornado. Every time she sold coconuts, she would slip him extra coconut water and whisper, "Don't tell my boss." But he never told anyone he liked her, not even Grandma. As the tension rose, a chicken ran across the compound and people jumped. Someone screamed, "A sign from the gods!" Chaos. Grandma shouted again, "Choose!" The crowd echoed, "Choose! Choose! Choose!" Kofi stood up slowly. His legs were shaking like boiled spaghetti. He looked at the three women. Then he looked at the sky. Then he took a deep breath. I choose Amma." The crowd exploded. People screamed. Someone fainted. One man shouted, "Hey, plot twist!" Essie the gossip ran out of breath. The fighter woman cracked her knuckles so hard the ground trembled. At that exact moment, Amma entered the compound holding her coconut knife, looking confused. "Kofi, someone said Grandma is looking for me. Is everything okay?" Kofi walked to her like a man in a romance film. "I choose you." Amma's eyes widened. "Me? But I'm just a coconut seller." "Yes, and you give me peace." The crowd sighed dramatically. Some said, "Oh." The talkative woman finally shut up for 3 seconds. Even the goats looked emotional. Grandma Adso stared at them and sighed. A deep sigh that ended the chaos. "You two fit. I can see it. Love doesn't need my short list." The village cheered. Drums played. Someone randomly started dancing a zonto. Auntie Essie shouted, "Wedding loading!" Grandma smiled warmly, then raised one warning finger. "But if you break up, I will launch Village Tinder Season 2 with 10 contestants and a talent show." Kofi and Amma screamed, "No, please!" And that is how Kofi escaped the wildest matchmaking event in history and found love in the most peaceful place, under a coconut tree.